I'm your host, Zachary Maurer, and as always, I'm joined by my RAZZLE co-creators Ryan Havens and Alan Havens.
Watch Judy.
And on today's episode, we'll be awarding the winners of the second annual Actual Movie Awards and breaking down some of the 92nd Academy Awards. This is RAZZLEcast episode 55, Green Book.
I think I'm just gonna plug telling people to watch movies.
Alan, you're
Bring
really
in the dancing lobsters.
You're really pushing for Judy.
You know what? I opened up the Oscar winners, and she was right there, and I was like, "That was a good movie. Watch Judy."
I didn't see Judy.
Damn.
I have not either.
That's my extent.
I don't know that I ever will.
Judy. I will never watch Judy. I'm almost positive about that.
It doesn't fit my timeline.
Well,
if I haven't seen it already, it's not going to happen.
For any movie, Zach's dying tomorrow. Jeez.
That's not funny.
Dark.
Guys.
All right, Oscars.
We have our own awards show.
Ooh.
Did you know that?
Ooh.
We did.
Ooh.
We do.
We're going to get to that. But anyway, let's talk about the Academy Awards for a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
You guys watched the Academy Awards?
I did. Did you, Ryan?
Oh, yeah, I checked them out.
Oh, yeah.
I checked them out. Tuned in.
Same. So did I.
Got a little, for that 3.5 hours, however long
Too
it is.
long.
It was too long, and it felt longer this year.
It still is too long.
It was 3 hours and 35 minutes. That's how long it was.
We can cut that back a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know if I ever felt this way, but especially this time along, it's time to cut original songs out.
Yeah.
I think you might be right. I mean, I like having them, but gosh. I mean, it wasn't like it was just one Eminem performance too long. Like it was...
It was one whole Eminem performance too long, though.
I was so shocked. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I don't know if that's a controversial opinion, but
no, I'm right there with you.
Especially when they showed his scene from like a scene from him in 8 Mile for so long. It's like, what's going on? Why was showing him for so long? And then all of a sudden he pops in and starts singing, and everyone's freaking out as if he hadn't performed in like 10 years, as if he disappeared off this planet.
Geriatric ass Eminem shows up, and we're like, what the fuck is happening? But apparently he never performed when Lose Yourself was nominated, or when it won, I guess. So they're like, oh, it's
that's what
but I don't know why we would do it.
Fuck
now.
off.
It was like 11 years ago. It wasn't even like it was like a major anniversary. I think they said it was 11 years. And I was like, oh, so they could have done it last year, and it kind of would have made a little bit of sense. It still wouldn't have made sense. It's never going to make sense.
No.
I don't know where they thought that was the spark that this Oscars needed. It was.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like people at the Oscars either absolutely loved it or were incredibly confused.
Martin Scorsese was like mouth open, like, "What the fuck is happening?"
This is not cinema.
Here's the thing, though. The Oscars felt long. The Oscars felt longer than The Irishman, but they were shorter than The Irishman. But
damn, yeah.
There's a lot of things that felt longer than The Irishman.
Making me tired of even talking about it. Anyway, I am unlike last year, which we were having a bit of a hissy fit, freak out, baby raging all over the.
I'll baby rage again. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. This year, there's some things that made me very happy,
year,
like Parasite.
I'm very pleased.
I think there was a lot of there were a lot of winners that I was pretty happy with.
Yeah, like Parasite winning Best Picture. Like I honestly haven't felt so excited about a Best Picture win since like Moonlight.
Oh hell yeah!
Like just that kind of underdog movie that I felt like really deserved it over what was like a movie that a lot of people would have said was like very Oscar bait. In like 1917, which a lot of people
and I expected that to win big, so my Oscar predictions did not pan out.
I thought it would win big.
Yeah, we all had 1917, so that was a safe bet.
I was,
but no, I was so thrilled with Parasite winning. Like that was like I was so happy. Like I like fist bumped after I saw it.
Oh
like.
hell yeah! I was so happy that won. I mean, I was so happy that Bong Joon-ho won for director.
Yeah,
like
when he won for director,
really,
I was like, oh, I think this might get Best Picture. Like when he won for director, I was like, I think that this might be it might go to Parasite. So I was pretty happy. By the point,
he won writing too. Like Parasite was a huge winner, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that. And, I mean, you guys I've talked about it the last few times I've been on the podcast. Like Parasite's like I adore that movie.
Yeah, so I guess it's important for us to mention this is the first film in a foreign language that won Best Picture. So like that's huge. Also, like I mean. This is sort of game-changing. I mean, I'm not expecting the Academy to change. Don't get me wrong, but this is sort of unprecedented.
You know what else is unprecedented?
What?
Eminem playing "Lose Yourself."
It's true. It has never happened before, and I hope to God it will never happen again.
I mean, it was cool.
Mom spaghetti.
It also didn't.
Was it cool? Hold on. Was it cool?
I like Eminem.
Was it cool?
It just didn't need to be in my Oscars, I guess.
Yeah. I've been fine at the Grammys.
Except it would have made even less sense at the Grammys somehow. Even though it's a music awards, it would have still made less sense. I don't know.
I'm still talking about that.
That's the big takeaway.
Eminem fucking won Best Sound Editing.
So in our group, if you're just counting us three, me and Zach won.
So that's really
Alan got yeah, that's all that matters.
But the person who takes home the trophy is not me either. Not this year. My wife, Linan. My wife, Linan, ended up studying like crazy to try to win this, and she ended up pulling out the win.
If Alan like popped up, it was just like that Linan won them. It just went on normally. I would have shit my pants.
I would have fucking threw up my mom's spaghetti.
God, I'm so proud of that laugh for really. She just studied really hard.
From now on,
she made it happen.
From now on, whenever we say our wives, we have to do it like that.
Just really, sweetie, I'm so proud of you graduating college. She was, my wife studied really hard and she did a great job. I love that.
It's such a weird recap of the Oscars, but
honestly, it's perfect.
Yeah, we're a week late. We're a week late.
So. Almost more out of place than Eminem.
What are we us three gonna say more than any other like movie podcast has already said? Like
what I'm gonna say,
this is what we're
gonna bring to the table is we're gonna connect Borat to Eminem's performance. I think that no other movie podcast is gonna be able to do that.
We can't add anything to the Oscars. There's nothing we can do to the Oscars. The Oscars are the Oscars, but we can.
Hold on. We can talk about how I got sound mixing and sound editing.
To say that
100% right, but totally not right.
Oh my gosh, you would have won. That would have been it.
I would have. Yeah, I swung for the fences, guys.
that would have been Zach's win if he flipped let's see, what was it? It was I picked Ford
versus Ferrari for sound mixing and 1917 for sound editing. They did split the awards, just reversed.
Yeah,
and I was not pleased. That was at the point of the night where my wife decided to go to bed.
That wasn't relevant information. You just wanted to do the my wife.
I did.
So if you copied off of our picks, but then accidentally flipped Zach's around, you did pretty good. You probably won your Oscar. Overall, I think we all did better this year, except for me. I mean, I was still pretty close. Like our accuracy rate was much higher.
Last year was such bullshit. Your bullshit, random ass fucking
skin
picking fucking what's it called? Green Book to win Best Picture. Also, oh god, that shit made
fuck you.
That's what I'm saying. Fuck you. That's what I'm saying. It made my blood boil. Last year actually may have turned me off to the Oscars for life, because even this time I wasn't
last
even
year made my blood boil because they didn't give Roma Best Picture, and then that other movie
they didn't give Cold War
foreign language film. They should have split them. The Academy thinks the same way I think, or they should at least.
I think it would have been better if Roma got Best Foreign Language and then Cold War somehow won Best Picture. I don't think it was nominated.
Even though it wasn't nominated, it just would have won anyway.
Do that to you.
Yeah, anymore, I don't really look forward to the Oscars as much as I do another award show.
Is there another award show?
Which other award show?
I don't know. Somebody say it.
We're foiled.
Right, I'm not into this shit.
I tried to do a segue earlier, and you guys ignored me.
Ryan's segues now. I think what Ryan's talking about is the actual movie awards, which then does lead us into actual movie awards. That was the intro music.
That's
Zach's the host, so go ahead now. Do your opening jokes
to the actual movie awards. Today we're giving away the winners. Of the actual away? We're giving away all the winners. All the winners are being given away.
Gosh, this is gonna feel longer than the Oscars.
I know. No, so guys,
we should explain.
Last week, even though it was 2 weeks ago, last podcast we ended up giving out the nominations for the 2020 Actual Movie Awards. The Actual Movie Awards are our own award show.
I thought you were just going to go to all nominations.
The Actual Movie Awards is our award show in which we give away the awards that are actually the real winners, given the name, because we love to tell you what you should like. So
yes,
I mean, like as we've said before, the Oscars are. I love them, but they're kind of a sham. Like the campaigns that people run are kind of ridiculous, and they end up just kind of buying their Oscars. And well, I'm not going to say we cannot be bought, as I've said before.
I would love to be bought,
but we aren't bought. So for right now, we're just we're more accurate.
And the best actual best picture goes to Raid Shadow Legends.
Actual best Audible. Best visual effects goes to Squarespace. Create better.
We're not getting paid for these. We're just actually plugging these.
Actual best lead actor. HelloFresh.
Guys, we are never going to get sponsored.
Use HelloFresh code Adam Driver to get 30% off your HelloFresh subscription.
Okay.
Fucking A. We actually have an actual sponsor for this episode, but
let's do it before they start.
The fucking host of this show never talks about it.
Yeah, let's say the sponsor.
Go ahead, Alan.
I don't have you do the sponsor.
I'm gonna have you do the ad read, Alan. Go ahead.
I've never done this, I don't think. So yeah, our sponsor for well, let's just say the Actual Movie Awards are brought to you by Ink.shop. They're our sponsor. They do screen printing on t-shirts. So if you're looking for any custom t-shirts for your business, for yourself, for anything, definitely go check them out. It's ink.shop in the URL. There's no .com. The shop is fitting for the com part. I'm so bad at this. But yeah,
and
go ahead.
Viewers like you.
Go ahead and check them out. They even made us some shirts for RAZZLE, and if we ever mass produce shirts out to people, it's likely going to be through them because they are great. And they're also nominated for Best Score.
And viewers like you.
Okay.
You said it was brought to you by, it made me think of PBS.
All
okay.
right.
So, guys, let's go through this, and we'll talk about the winners. We'll name the winners. We will send them their check. Every winner gets a check.
Yeah,
it's a check that they can write to us.
They got a check mark. We check mark next to the winner.
Yeah.
I was just thinking we ask them for a check, and it's like, you know,
everyone gets a PNG of a trophy. They don't get a trophy. I send them a PNG of a trophy.
Yeah, that's like better than a JPEG. Like the JPEG, yeah. So I mean, that's something.
Alan, would you like to read the nominees and announce the winner for the actual best animated feature?
This episode is like so low energy. It's great.
Off the wall in every way, but with nothing behind it.
This is I welcome everyone to what would have been a 10th grade sleepover in which we're all really tired. That's like basically what's going on right now.
Forcing ourselves to stay up to play NFL Street.
Welcome to 2 a.m. 10th grade sleepovers in which my dad would come up the stairs and yell at us to go the fuck to sleep.
You're too loud.
If this is your first time listening to one of our podcasts, listen to the one from 2 weeks ago first. That one's more organized. Guys, the actual best animated feature nominations are... Gosh, this feels like during the Oscars where they throw like Maya Rudolph and like Amy Poehler or something, or Kristen Wiig or something on. That's what they had actually. When it's just like them riffing for a little bit, and it's like, why did we do that?
The nominees, yeah.
The nominees for actual best animated feature are Toy Story 4, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, Klaus, and I Lost My Body.
And Harry's Razors. Use the promo code.
The actual best animated feature.
Dollar Shave Club. Sorry.
The actual best animated feature award goes to I Lost My Body.
Hey.
That's a really good clap noise.
It was an actual clap. I do my own Foley work. Congratulations to I Lost My Body.
Enjoy your win here. This is the real win that matters.
It deserved it. And it truly did. Mostly because a lot of the animated features, not necessarily the ones that are nominated here, but a lot of the animated features from the year were pretty mediocre.
I wouldn't say that's why I Lost My Body took it.
No. I actually think I Lost My Body is great.
Yeah, it's a really great film.
But if this was a year where like Moana came out,
yeah, I mean, like any other year, you guys don't win. Like
the actual best movie awards are honest, guys. You know.
Actual best visual effects. The nominees are Avengers: Endgame, Parasite, The Irishman, and Ad Astra. And the winner is The Irishman. Wanted to keep you in suspense.
I was in suspense and I knew the winner.
Congratulations to The Irishman. You did it.
Actually, neither of these movies in the top two won at the Oscars, right? Yeah, because 1917 won at the Oscars. Wasn't even nominated at the actual best.
The Oscars don't even count. The Oscars are relevant.
They're not real.
They're not real.
Let's talk about The Irishman for a second. They convinced me that they did the Boyhood thing and just shot this a long time ago.
They convinced me that not only was Robert De Niro once a young man, but that he's not also so old yet.
I thought you were going to say that when he was a young boy. His father took him into the city to see a marching band.
No, I wasn't going to say that.
To see the Irishman.
The Irishman. Shit. But no, it really did a great job. I don't think I really ever noticed it in a bad way.
I don't think I ever noticed it. Actual best score.
Shit.
No,
this
but
is a
for
fucking
real,
train wreck.
This is
Who knows if this episode's getting released?
This is yeah. No, this is The Irishman. This is one of those visual effects things where it's not like, obviously it's not like an over the top situation. It's more like where Endgame is like a action packed, like literally gigantic fight sequences and whatnot, which is good, amazing, deserves to be nominated. And The Irishman is a lot more subtle.
Yep.
Right.
and it's a lot more lived in, if that makes any sense at all. It doesn't sound super pretentious. Anyway, Alan, do you have the next, or is
No,
that
it's Zach.
It's me.
Tis I.
The next category, actual best score. Thomas Newman for 1917. Hildur for Joker.
It's okay. I've got some bad ones.
Daniel Lapatine for Uncut Gems, and Alexandra Desplat for Little Women. And the winner is Daniel Lapatine for Uncut Gems.
Send in the clown. Wait a second.
To send in the Sandman.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems' score is really, really good.
It's like
and
that dirty
suspenseful as
synth.
hell.
It makes
I'm a
me
sucker for that dirty
feel
synth.
like I'm Batman.
What?
Zach, are you high? What the fuck?
No, it makes me feel like I have. Well, I do have an anxiety issue, but it makes me feel like I had an anxiety issue while watching the movie, and that I did heroin.
It made me feel like I had what I already have.
Yeah, it's on the edge of your seat, and it's engrossing, and it's gross, and it's beautiful.
I love it.
I agree. Uncut Gems score is really, really good. Happy to see it get the win
fucking
here.
snubbed at the other award show that doesn't matter anymore.
No, because this is the actual best score
The irrelevant
award.
one.
This
Well,
award show,
Alan.
our award show, has clout.
I think that's
Does it?
No,
Raid Shadow Legends is a nomination, so
well.
I think it does have clout.
I think
nominees for actual best cinematography:
Well,
Phase Clan.
No, hold on, guys.
Face Clan.
Now that we're talking about score, and
That's the clout right there.
now that we're talking about
Team
score
10.
and music, this seems like a good time to bring on our musical guest, Eminem. Go ahead and sing.
Lose
Lose
yourself in the
Yourself.
music the moment you want it. You better never let it go. Go.
Mom spaghetti.
I would love if just for the sake of it, we just played "Lose Yourself." I mean, we can't because we'd get copyright struck. But just in the middle of the thing here, just play that song.
Nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs.
Actual best cinematography. The nominees are.
I like how Alan just moved on from that.
The nominees for actual best cinematography are Uncut Gems, Darius Kanji, probably mispronounced that. 1917, Roger Deakins, that one's easy to say. The Lighthouse, Jaron Blashke.
And it's the rank or rate of how easy it is to say after.
And Midsummer.
Howard
Podrazowski. And the winner
wasn't easy to
is
say.
the winner is Roger Deakins. Thank God for 1917.
Great job, Roger. You did it. You did it again.
Yeah.
It was honestly, I threw an audible out there. I just picked the one that was easiest to say. You know,
Raj, you're really stepping it up here.
No.
Honestly,
actually great. 1917 cinematography. Is
actually,
awesome.
if I'm being blunt, Raj, I'm glad you're working with like real people like Sam Mendes. You know, who's like stepping it up and making you actually get to the top of your game here. You know,
I don't know what you're doing. Is this a bit? Am I not aware?
I don't know what it is. I love Roger Deakins.
Tired Sack is like really funny.
Damn, man.
Damn, but no,
man.
this is absolutely deserved. I mean, there are really incredible nominees here. It's 3 A24 movies and a 1917, which I think is interesting.
And 3 A24 movies and a 1917.
And a 1917. This movie is the perfect example of like a one cut film, or like a film made to look like it's all long takes that like isn't just gimmick. It makes you feel like it, and it really elevates really elevates the material by being shot the way it is. And I think Roger did a really great job.
I agree.
So.
Concurred.
Sick.
All right.
Let's
other than
move on.
All right, our next
No,
award.
what were you gonna say? Other than what?
Our next. I was gonna make a thing, but I'm gonna try to see if I can work it in another way.
Okay.
Are you gonna explain the next category?
I'm not even gonna do it anymore. The next nomination or the next award is actual worst mistake.
Doing this podcast.
So that's what I was gonna say. Doing this podcast. So I was gonna lead. I was gonna say like, oh, doing this podcast so late. But I couldn't think of how to word it. So I was like, I'm gonna maybe word this differently. But then you called me out.
You want to explain the actual worst mistake award?
Actual worst mistake. The award is just for a big oopsie.
Big oopsie doopsie.
Oopsie doopsie.
In the movie making business.
You'll understand when you hear the nominees.
Yeah. First nomination is X-Men Returning to the Phoenix Saga. Why are we making this podcast?
You understand when you hear the nominees. Yeah.
I'm tired, man. It's been a long
Holy shit. This is so unorganized.
It's been such a long day. It's actually kind of funny this way because the Oscars were actually good this year and we're actually a mess.
It can never go both ways.
All right, let's start this over. First nomination, X-Men, returning to the Phoenix Saga, Universal making Cats, Hollywood going all in on reboots, and Disney's live-action remakes. And the winner is Universal making Cats.
I mean, yeah.
Oopsie doopsie. What a bad choice.
I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit.
Cats is going to be a big winner, this awards. I'm thinking.
Nothing is worse than Cats.
It honestly is one of the worst movies I've ever watched. And the fact that they wanted this movie to be in Oscar contention and that they expected to make so much money is the most laughable thing.
No, Alan, you're going way too late here. I want to start at the very beginning. Conceptually, nothing is more incorrect than Cats. I'm speaking from the bare fucking bones. Cats is literally a musical that's all about the dancing in costumes. And what are we going to do? Not have any costumes, and we're going to poorly animate over the dancing.
With some just mind-bendingly horrific.
It's just fucking insane
and fever dream-esque.
The thing is,
monsters of human
like releasing a fucking day one patch so bad. Fucking VFX, and I don't blame any of the VFX artists. I blame Universal Studios
for making Cats.
Tom Hooper.
Yeah,
and fucking Taylor Swift. I just blame her.
This movie couldn't have failed
James Corden
in more ways because as I look at this film and I think about the musical Cats, and I like musicals, this has made me not want to go see Cats because I'm like, there's no way it can be good after I watched the movie Cats. And there are a lot of people who love the musical.
Well, sure.
That exists.
Yeah,
I will definitely not see it now.
They're wrong.
Here's the thing. I can't imagine Jellicle Cats is a good song in any way, on stage either. There's 4 words in that song.
Jellicle cats are Jellicle cats are Jellicle fuck. I've never been a big Andrew Lloyd Webber fan. In musicals, you either like Andrew Lloyd Webber or you're a Sondheim person, and I'm more Sondheim. But let's just have this discussion. This movie has no plot.
None.
This movie has no characters. Well, no, it has a lot of characters. It doesn't have any characters that have any meaning. This movie has no visual appeal. This movie's music barely sounds good. This movie shouldn't exist. This movie's going to lose them $100 and more million. This movie is the bane of human existence, and I don't think we have a way of creating.
I'm questioning my religion because this movie came out. It is so bad.
I went and saw this. I went and saw this movie in the theaters, and I'm watching the movie, and I am literally dying of laughter every 4 seconds.
I love how this category.
Where my wife smacks me, and she says, "Some people might be enjoying this," and that made me laugh even fucking harder.
The funny thing is that the joke's on you.
I love how.
Yeah, I'm watching it, and I'm just. I
love how we're being so dramatic about this, and we gave this award for this movie being made that it basically just completely gives away the winner of a later category.
I think that there might be a worse.
This is like if they gave Parasite the best picture win before they gave it the other the best foreign.
Zach would have thought that was for a reason, and they were going to go with another movie.
There is never. I'm going to say something here, and barring any sort of criminal activity. There has never been a bigger mistake in all of the world.
Kevin Spacey.
Universal making Cats.
Worse than Kevin Spacey.
I said barring any criminal activity. I specified.
You did specify that.
Let me be frank. This movie is worse than anything else.
I don't know. Is it me next?
I honestly felt like I was a far worse person after seeing this movie. Not that I was dumber, not that I had really bad tastes. It made me feel like I was a bad person. And this is also the horniest film you'll ever see. I'm just going to add that on there as well. I've never seen a more sex-crazed maniac than Jason Derulo in this movie, and that includes Kevin Spacey.
Guys, I think we might have to talk about Cats later, so why don't we move on to Best Supporting Actress, which is...
This is the only thing that woke me up, by the way. Everything else we've discussed, I've been almost asleep, but fucking Cats gets me there.
It achieved something. It achieved the actual worst mistake.
Jason Derulo.
God damn. Okay, Zach.
Fucking watching
tired,
Idris Elba's naked cat body strut around the movie is the most grotesque. No, Alan. At the end of the fucking, at the end of the movie, he fucking takes his coat off, and it's the fucking like. At one point in time, Rebel Wilson unzips her fucking skin and comes out in another set of skin, and she's fucking.
Let's move on to Best Supporting Actress, Zach. And it's you know the thing that you know why this isn't working right now? Zach is the person who's supposed to announce the next nomination.
They told Taylor Swift, "You will get an Oscar if you're in this movie." Think about that.
I'm still laughing about Jason Derulo.
He's a fucking sex-crazed maniac.
It's the horniest movie since $1 Million Boys Club, starring Kevin Spacey. I'm tired, man. All right, next. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and make my. I made a mistake making that joke on the podcast. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
Please don't cancel me.
Zach, you want to move on to Best Supporting?
My actions were both immature and improper.
I will forever learn from this. I'm gay.
That's what Kevin Spacey would do.
That's what he did.
It's actually not what he would do. That is what he did. You are right, actually. God, I hate Kevin Spacey. Okay,
we've been on this category for so long.
The next category is actual Best Supporting Actress, and your nominees are Florence Pugh for Little Women, Jennifer Lopez, Hustlers, So Damn Park, Parasite, and Laura Dern, Marriage Story. And your winner is Laura Dern, Marriage Story.
Yeah. That clapping. Honestly, great job, man.
There has never been a bigger mistake than
Laura Dern
She was
portrayed.
excellent. She doesn't have a huge part.
Laura Dern portrayed the biggest villain in movies. I just honestly
in this movie.
No, not really, but
she's not a villain.
Not really, but also
she's kind of a villain, but kind of.
It made
not.
me think that divorce lawyers were the big losers of the movie year. I don't know why I said that. No, they just felt so
just real life.
I don't know.
We just said
they felt villainy. I felt villainy. I felt villainy out of it.
No. There was
felt like I don't know. It didn't feel like a villain. It just felt like
villain is harsh,
and I'm sticking with it. Best villain, okay. Laura Dern.
Interesting.
I don't think it makes her a villain. I don't think anything she's doing is villainous. It's just her job.
Sure, yeah, 100%.
Yes. I guess you could say the same thing. Like the Nazis, they're just doing their job.
I don't know if I could say this.
So they're considered Nazis to divorce lawyers.
I'm just saying that statement. My statement I'm saying doesn't exactly work for everything, but you know what I mean.
She had a sort of darker side, I think.
Did she? We didn't really get a super personal look at her. And I think that's what made her performance so good. Is she didn't have a lot to work with.
I mean, I think there were a few times where she was sort of manipulating Scarlett Johansson's character a little bit, and I think that's kind of what Alan's talking about.
There is a bit of manipulation, but I think that is a more look at what goes into the to be successful in this line of work.
That's why I don't necessarily think she would be classified as a villain. I think that's pretty harsh.
I'm not mad. I don't care.
Like she's doing her job to win her.
What I'm saying is Thanos versus her. I'm siding with Thanos. Is what I'm going with.
That's a bit of a stretch.
If Thanos is going through a divorce, then
he's has anyone ever asked Thanos what was going on?
So yeah, Laura Dern is great in this role, regardless of what we consider on if she's a villain or not. That's not important to the category. I think she's great. She's incredibly believable in her role, and I mean, I guess that's what acting is. But I don't know. It's hard to.
She steals I think she steals the scene she's in when she's in the scenes.
Yeah, and again, as I said, like she doesn't have like a ton to work with. She's not in a large part of the. Right. She's only has a handful of scenes, but every time she owns it every single time. Even though we don't get an in-depth personal look at her character, she still feels like a fully fledged out character based solely on her. So
much power in her performance too.
She made the character more than what it was.
There's so much power in her performance because she's not like a big person. She's not physically imposing, and yet when she's in that courtroom and she takes off her jacket and she's just sitting down, talking and giving her points, she seems like. Oh gosh!
Now I get it. Alan thinks she's a villain because Alan's sexist.
No.
Now I get it. Powerful women. Alan doesn't like them. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you, Alan.
She's great. She's not a villain. She's the hero of the story. I hate you.
Thank you. I've been waiting for you to see that. It's called Marriage Story for a reason.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Just move on.
I don't know what that means. Let's move on.
To the actual best supporting actor. I believe this is my turn. Yes.
No, didn't you just do?
You just
nope.
No, I did that. Oh. Fucking A.
Okay. Actual best supporting actor. The nominees are Tom Burke for The Souvenir, Joe Pesci for The Irishman, Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Willem Dafoe for The Lighthouse. And the winner is Willem Dafoe for The Lighthouse. I don't know why I paused before for the Lighthouse, in case he was in something else.
In case it was for one of those.
Did Aquaman come out last year? I don't know. I don't think so.
Why did you spill your beans?
Why'd you spill your beans?
This was one that I don't think was like Brad Pitt was up there, but I don't think this one was that close. Willem Dafoe had like just one of the best performances
Tom
of
Burke,
the year.
am I right?
Yep.
Tom Burke had a transcendent performance. I'm sorry, Willem Dafoe had a transcendent performance.
We don't talk about the other nominees.
Tom Burke was
fine.
Tom Burke was great.
Leave Tom Burke alone.
Just happy he's there, man. Willem Dafoe. Yeah, I mean, come on. It was an incredible performance.
I think Willem Dafoe may have been born of the sea. And this whole time he has been faking us by being a land person.
He did this and he did Aquaman, so I think there's something there, Zach.
I think Willem Dafoe was simultaneously the most funny character I've seen this year and the most terrifying.
I was gonna say also terrifying.
Yeah. Have it your way. I liked your cooking.
You're fond of me, lobster. I had so much like passion, like not passion.
I had so much passion.
Maybe, I don't know.
You're fond of me, lobster.
I was. I felt so sad as he evokes every emotion out of me in this movie, and he's amazing. He's just amazing as a human. I don't know if that's true. I actually don't know that much.
He's my favorite actor working, so I always look forward to his movies. And his movies a lot of times end up being some of my favorites of the year. And this one was just like one of his best performances he's ever given. Like I absolutely adored this performance for him. He like it's not even just him for the movie, just in general. Like Robert Pattinson's incredible as well, but like they're both incredible for different ways. I don't know. I think he like absolutely does an outstanding job. And I know this is like weird and maybe it doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but acting in support of Robert Pattinson's character, if that makes sense. Like
of course.
he sort of like Robert Pattinson kind of carries the load of the narrative, but Willem Dafoe supports him along the way, and I think in such a perfect way. Like when they act off their scenes, acting off each other, because it's literally the entire movie is just these two. It's almost a play, like they're just acting off of one another in these long riffs.
I will also say that this is like probably. Like his acting is completely over the top in a way that is absolutely amazing and totally works. Like I'm usually more of a fan of some more subtle things. This performance is not subtle by any means, but still absolutely amazing and I'm gonna say believable in somehow in an over the top way. I don't know how that works.
It fits tonally. That comes down to just incredible directing by Robert Eggers, but it's just tonally, it's just so right. Like with his character, he understands what the director is asking of him. Willem Dafoe has always been a director's actor, as in like he just serves. Mm-hmm. He's there to serve, and he has a very wide range as an actor. And in this one, it was just kind of they wanted that crazy side out of him, which we've all seen. It's what he's probably less well known for, but he just does it in the perfect way to fit the tone of the movie. And he's excellent. He's really incredible.
Gosh, he's such a good actor.
I love him.
I'm in love with that man.
I love him.
I don't have no problem saying it.
All right, we're moving on to that next category.
Yeah.
Who's reading? Is me?
So. Yes.
Actual best action film.
Pew pew pew.
Like that. Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home, John Wick Chapter 3, and Shazam. And the actual best movie award goes to John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
Was there ever a fucking question?
No. This movie was so fucking good.
There was never a fucking question.
How do these John Wick movies get better and better every time?
Feel like spoilers for any time a John Wick film is out, which I don't know if they're done. I don't know. But
no, baby, no. John Wick 4 next year.
So spoilers for any time a John Wick film comes out, it's probably going to get the best action film.
John Wick is back. He's back, baby.
Yeah, every time a new John Wick comes out, it's just better than the last. It's so fucking good. It's just like he fights Boban in the first scene.
It's fucking incredible, man.
Like, I don't know, the action sequence, the action choreography, it's just so good. It's really well paced, the movie.
I don't think it can ever get better, and then it gets better every time I'm watching it, even as it's going on.
The movie has a really nice flow. It again, similar to what you were saying with Lighthouse, but not having this sound a weird comparison, but it doesn't take itself too seriously, which I think is really important. It's not an action movie that's trying too hard to be like
absolutely.
Like it's kind of silly and ridiculous, but it works for tonally for what they're going for. You know what I mean? Like it's an action movie living inside of an action movie. Like it knows what it is, and they do some off the wall weird shit.
They just do some weird fucking shit. It's just so like there's a fucking weird ass part in a desert, and I'm like, what the fuck movie is this? And it fucking works. Like, it just fucking works.
Walks into the desert. That seems so fucking weird. And it takes place in like a day.
Yeah, it's just like this fucking is perfect. Like I mean, there's so much going on. I mean, and Keanu balances everything so well, and it's just like, damn. It's just this movie is damn. That's what it is. Like, there's a scene with knives that is like fucking beautiful, and there's
they send like hounds to like. There's like those fight sequences with the dog. Like that shit was awesome.
There's a fucking fight sequence where John Wick uses horses.
Yeah,
as a weapon.
The guy in the head. Yeah.
And it's like fucking horses. I just never thought I'd see that.
It
shit.
has everything.
Like
it's the definition of an action film.
If there's a way for John Wick to kill somebody with something, they've done it.
It's the most satisfying like action of all time. It's so fun to watch. Like it almost has that like that feel. Like I adore like classic kung fu films for their action choreography, especially like non-American kung fu, obviously. Just because a lot of times that's more true to choreography. It doesn't use as many blatant cuts. This is in that same feeling of realm. It's gun fu.
I love gun fu.
It's same. Where it's just satisfying to watch. It's just kind of almost mesmerizing, the action sequences, and it's awesome. I love it.
It puts you in a meditative trance of violence and despair, but like fun. I can't describe John Wick other than
I love the way of violence and despair, but fun.
But it is like I don't know, man. I love listening to John Wick rant about how terrible his life is, and then fucking end everyone else's. It's just so good.
Oh man, yeah. All right, let's go on to that next one.
The next category is actual best screenplay, and the nominees are Knives Out, Marriage Story, Parasite, and The Farewell. And the winner is Parasite.
Hey,
they did it. Parasite's a great movie. If you get nothing out of this, watch Parasite. It's really good.
Oh yeah,
it's in a lot of theaters.
Brilliantly written movie. Yeah,
it's like incredibly well written.
We've talked about Parasite a lot.
The thing is, I don't want to give a lot of details about the movie because knowing nothing going in is always a good.
This movie is perfect when you don't know what's going on. Like not when you don't know what's going on, it's when you don't know what's going on when you're going into it.
I had no idea going into it, and that made it just so much better.
I don't even want to discuss themes. Like I feel like we have in like a past episode. Like I don't want to discuss anything because I want you all to see it. And it's just written really well. And after the next category, I'm sure we'll talk about it a little more. Sorry for spoilers.
Zach, damn it. Okay, well, the nominees for actual best director
spoilers
are the Safdie Bros, Safdie Brothers for Uncut Gems, Greta Gerwig for Little Women, Bong Joon-ho for Parasite, and Sam Mendes for 1917. And the winner goes to La La Land. Oh no, wait, it's Bong Joon-ho for Parasite.
Sorry, I gave away the spoilers, but he did it again.
Oops. South
Korea's favorite son did it again.
If you watch our podcast a lot, it shouldn't shock anybody how much me and Zach specifically, because Alan hadn't seen it, especially before Alan's, where we kept saying it was like the best directed movie of the year.
Because it is. It just fucking is. Like, and
this shouldn't shock anybody.
This was but his win at the Oscars was a shock to me. But his win at the actual movie awards is not a shock because we actually award
the correct
winners. The actual winners. Dare I say, the actual winners.
Is that how we say it?
Yeah.
Dare I say,
the actual winners.
Anyway, no shock there. I mean, you listen to our other podcasts, we talk about it in depth, this movie, and how well it's directed, how well it's paced, how well it's edited, how well it's written, how well it's acted, just everything about it. I mean, come on. Let's move on. Go on to that next category. It's me, right? Ooh, I get a fun one.
Yeah.
It's me, right? What was that?
I laughed because I was like, this is a fun one. The other ones are boring.
I heard something in the background.
Ooh, I got a fun one.
The last two are boring. They were very expected. Anyway, next one. The actual worst performance. The first nominee, Anne Hathaway, The Hustle. The next nominee, John Travolta, The Fanatic. The next category, Griffin Gluck, Tall Girl. Honorable mention, Sabrina Carpenter for Tall Girl. And the final nomination, rounding it out, Rebel Wilson from The Hustle.
She really could have been nominated for Cats, too.
She almost should have been nominated for Cats.
The Hustle and Cats. God, we should have changed the winner. The winner is John Travolta for The Fanatic. Really should have been Rebel.
Moose is in the house.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Watch out. Here's Moosey. Moose is in the house.
I give very few ones when it comes to movies. I have two this year, and it's The Fanatic and Cats. And ones are for movies that are either completely broken and bad, or they're like offensive and bad. The Fanatic is both.
Poppycock. 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 I can't talk too long. I gotta poo. Poppycock.
This is bad. This is very, very, very bad. It is.
You're blocked. You're blocked from my social media. Poppycock. I have okay. Not only is John Travolta a fucking insane person in real life, he decided to play one in this movie. But not only that, he decided to play a character that is on the spectrum, but do it in what I believe to be arguably the most heinous way to do it.
Yeah.
He shows it's the most conflicting thing in the world because I feel like the movie is telling me that this guy is good.
Oh,
but Harrison Ford is telling me that he is the worst human being ever.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, spoilers.
This is not a discussion on the film.
Can we do spoilers on The Fanatic?
Spoilers on The Fanatic, sure.
A little bit. If you don't want spoilers on The Fanatic,
don't watch it. Don't watch it. It's directed by Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit fame. And you know that because for 3 minutes in the movie, they just play Limp Bizkit and talk about how good Limp Bizkit is.
Actually,
it's not a discussion of the movie.
We don't need to say spoilers. That's fine. Because I'll just say that the ending is like the least satisfying ending I think I've ever seen.
But to specifically talk about John Travolta's performance, the whole time he's doing a lot of physical acting that is just absolutely batshit crazy, but not in like a fun Nick Cage kind of way, in like a insulting like Rosie O'Donnell kind of way.
Okay. Yeah, it's very, very bad. It's the worst it's the actual worst performance of the year.
I don't think John Travolta hasn't had a career. Let's make that pretty.
Who hasn't?
John Travolta hasn't really had a career recently.
Okay.
More fair.
He's not gonna have any more of one.
I was about to debate you there.
No, I mean like in like what the last like 10 years, I don't think John Travolta's really had a career.
I'm with you. He was really good in American Crime Story. That's it.
Oh, okay.
He's not very good in The Fanatic.
That's it.
I don't think he's gonna have a career after this. Unless he just keeps.
I'm not
funding
sure he had a
things.
career before this. I mean, not like ever. I'm saying like I don't think this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Are you guys forgetting Gotti was last year or 2 years ago?
No.
The guy is going to keep making these movies. He got away with that. It's going to keep happening.
But I don't think I didn't listen. I didn't see Gotti. I wasn't gonna put myself through that. But I think his performance in The Fanatic might be worse than him as Gotti.
Right.
I just the whole time he's like smelling his own ear, and like that's a character choice.
That's crossed the line with that.
We can move on from John Travolta.
I wish we would.
I don't know. Is it me?
Actual best lead actor.
I love the tagline for the movie. All he wanted was an autograph.
That's not true.
No, that's not true. It's not all he wanted. Whatever. Hunter Dunbar, I'm such a good actor. I fooled Hunter Dunbar. Fuck you. Okay, sorry.
You remember the character's name?
Yeah.
That would have been a great. That would have been like a great like what's it called movie for us? Commentary movie.
Would have. Next category is actual best lead actor, and the nominees are Adam Driver for Marriage Story, Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, and Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems. And the winner is Adam Driver for Marriage Story.
Yay.
Send in the clowns. Wait a second.
Joaquin Phoenix is great, but
the clown.
Joaquin Phoenix is great, but Adam Driver is really good in that movie, in my opinion, and that looks like the opinion of all of us, or at least the opinion of RAZZLE, the best actor, best performance of the year.
All of these performances are incredible, in my opinion. Like they all could win this. I do think Joaquin Phoenix was incredible, and I know some people may be watching this and may be mad or whatever, but I personally prefer Adam Driver's performance.
Couldn't agree,
but I do think Joaquin Phoenix is great as well.
Yes.
I just really like the subtleties of Adam Driver's performance.
It's just real and painful, and I cried a bunch of times.
And I think in a big way, it also comes from just being a better directed movie.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible.
Which helps him a lot.
It's impossible to take away those things from actors. Like John Travolta didn't get help from the writing and stuff like that. So
from Fred Durst.
Yeah, so Adam Driver's going to benefit from it, but that's how I don't know why I made that like it was those two against each other.
No, I don't know why you did that either. That was a really weird choice. That was about as weird as calling Laura Dern a villain. But Adam Driver, one of the saddest things I heard, I don't know why this line really stuck out to me, was when he said, but we were going to go as Frankenstein. You were going to go as Frankenstein. Like, when he's talking about the Halloween costume, it, like, got to me so much.
Yeah, but he's also an asshole in that scene, too. I think that's what's great also. I mean, it is. You feel sorry for him, but he's, like, just kind of he pushes his opinion on everybody.
Yeah, of course.
And it always has to be his way. And I think that's what makes him such a good character too. Is like he always kind of wants.
He's
control.
he's certainly trying, but he's not. I mean, I guess he's achieving what he's trying to do. I would say he's trying to be. He doesn't think he's doing anything wrong, which I guess nobody really thinks they're doing anything wrong. But like, he's real. Like that's real. That's a real person, and they're not a villain.
Laura Dern is. He's always directing. Is the thing. It's
By the way, if you come out of this movie watching it and be like, "Wow, Scarlett Johansson's character is the worst," then you might be sexist. Like he cheated.
She's having sex with him in the last year. That's a quote.
Oh God, Alan!
That's literally a quote from the movie.
You shouldn't be mad. You shouldn't be mad. You shouldn't be mad. You shouldn't be mad that I had sex with her. You should be mad that I had a laugh with her.
No, but she didn't hate me. You hated me. I've watched that scene a lot.
Yeah, he's so good. He's such a exactly how you said, like a character. And there's no villains in the movie. There's no I don't think his character's a bad person. He's definitely not like a emotionally ready person that's ready to be married. Yeah. And I think
he didn't even want to get married.
And I mean, that's made clear.
Fuck it. I'm just quoting the same scene.
You are.
But I don't know. I just think he portrays it so well because he's, again, as you were saying, like he's a character that does wrong, but he doesn't think he's doing wrong, and they both do wrong. I'm not saying that he's that this is.
I don't want to be wrong because if I am, then I'm saying negative things. But didn't Noah Baumbach say like he's loosely based on himself?
Himself,
right? Yeah,
correct. Yes,
himself. Yeah.
So
Noah Baumbach loosely based a movie on himself, and he made Marriage Story. Darren Aronofsky loosely based a movie on himself, and he made himself God in Mother. So it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I like Mother, but I don't know why I brought that up. I'm sorry. I fucking bring up the weirdest shit. Okay.
It's okay. Moving along. Oh, it's me next, right?
Alan's the villain of this podcast.
So we move on to actual best lead actress, and the nominees for actual best lead actress are Saoirse Ronan for Little Women, Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story, Aquafina for The Farewell, and Renee Zellweger for Judy. And the award goes to Aquafina for The Farewell.
This was our most contested.
Yeah, all of them are
great.
It was.
We all had different things. All voted differently. It was challenging to kind of ultimately what was chosen and everything, but pretty awesome. I'm happy to see it was Aquafina. Very well deserved, and considering she didn't even get nominated.
The Farewell is also a story written about the writer-director's own life. So,
do you know a fun fact about that also? When the movie came out, the woman that it's based on, she's still alive.
The grandmother.
And she didn't know what the movie... Yeah, the grandmother. She didn't even know... Like, they said that the movie was coming out and was being made and everything. She didn't know, and then
that was the first time she found out that she was apparently dying, or was supposed to die.
Dying. Yeah.
No way.
It's so cool.
She didn't know until after the movie came out, and it wasn't right when the movie came out. They were able to keep it hidden for a little bit longer. It was a movie about their lives. I think there was about the wedding.
They were able to convince her for so long that that the movie, because that's what they said. She said surely they figured she was going to die before the movie came out. They just kept thinking, well, she's not going to make it this long, and they just kept going and being like, I guess she's just going to keep making it this long. So yeah, the ending, the whole movie is great. You definitely should check out The Farewell. And she's, we should actually talk about Aquafina, since this is for best lead actress. She's incredible. The way that she is able to portray all of the emotions, it's weird. I always think it's interesting when you see an actor act like they're acting. And not like acting on stage or anything like that, but she's she has to put on a show for her grandmother in front of all the other characters, and she does it so well because she's portraying emotions hidden under what she's showing, and it's just really good. If that made sense at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
it certainly made sense. I'm really glad she was able to win this award. I know Ryan did mention this was sort of a more contested process, but it's so deserved, and I guess I was about to say I guess she didn't really have much recognition for her performance, but I think she did win a Golden Globe, correct? So
yeah.
No,
she didn't get nominated at the Oscars.
And now she won a far more prestigious award, so I'm really glad for her. So
okay, I just did that one, so it's Ryan for another fun one.
Yeah, awesome. I get the big one. All right, the actual worst picture, and here are the nominations: Tall Girl, Cats, The Hustle, and The Lion King. The Lion could have put the Fanatic in, and the winner is Cats. Shocks nobody.
Yeah, I don't actually.
Cats
now that I look at it,
The Lion King, which is also Cats.
I'm not mad about The Lion King being in there. I'm gonna let everybody know that. I'm not mad about it. But the right movie won. Or lost.
Cats
won. It had to get some wins, and it got
Jason
those.
Derulo is
and
a sex
Rebel Wilson
crazed
should have been
maniac.
nominated too.
He needs to be stopped.
Jason Derulo is a sex crazed maniac. I can't describe it any other way. It's very true.
We should consider. We should consider doing a commentary with Jordan
on Cats.
Yeah, with Jordan. Even though
I think he liked Cats, though, didn't he?
That's why
Jordan liked the movie. I don't fucking understand it.
Just to make him mad.
This movie. I don't know what to say.
It's not a movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah. This collection of introductions is just the most broken, despicable. I would rather play I would rather play the new WWE video game than watch Cats again.
If there was a worst game award, that would be it.
You guys aren't wrong.
Still funny.
And I like WWE, and I have the game, and yeah, it's bad. It's broken. And Cats is broken.
Cats is broken. There is a moment at the end of the movie, and I'm sorry if this is going to spoil anything, but there's a moment at the end of the movie where Judi Dench looks directly into the camera and tells you that cats aren't dogs. What the fuck did I just spend 2 hours doing? Like,
learning.
I would have much rather had somebody rip out my toenails individually one by one than watch this fucking movie.
I will go on record saying I'd rather watch the movie. I'm gonna just go out there and say it's really bad.
There's a cat that does magic and another cat that does magic, but that cat's not the fucking magic cat. That cat's the evil cat. But that cat's the magic cat, and he says, I'm the magic cat. Look at me, I'm the magic cat. And then there's a fucking fat cat, and there's another fat cat, but that cat's not the fat cat. That cat's the cat in spats. What the fuck? I feel like I'm in a fucking demented Dr. Seuss book. I feel like I'm transported to another reality in which Dr. Seuss never existed, and he just implanted his fucking fever dreams into my cerebral cortex. I've never experienced something that transcended film to the point where I was watching visual vomit. I hate this movie with every fiber of my being.
Zach, I'm incredibly mad that you never made a video specifically dedicated to cats.
You need to let it all out.
There was clearly a lot of content there.
I didn't realize I hated this. I mean, I knew I hated this movie, but really talking about it, man, this gets me fucking fired up. Cats is the worst movie of the year. Let's fucking move on.
Well, from the worst to the best, it's actually, Zach,
I can't do it. You go, Alan.
The nominations for actual Best Picture. I don't know why I'm doing that as like William Shatner.
The nominations.
He's presenting. Actual Best Picture nominations are Little Women, Marriage Story, The Lighthouse, Uncut Gems, Midsummer, Parasite, 1917, and The Souvenir. And the award for actual Best Picture of 2019 goes to Parasite.
Oscars got
and
it
it
right.
was well deserved.
Oscars got it right.
Oscars got it right, baby.
Didn't think they were going to, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard us talk about this movie a lot. There's no shock. It's also kind of why I didn't talk about it much for writing and directing, just because like, this is coming up.
I thought Zach was going to spoil it again.
No.
Oh, don't worry, guys. We'll talk about it when we get to Best Picture.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's in my opinion the best directed movie of the year, the best written movie of the year, the best edited movie of the year. It just does nothing
All
wrong
of the performances
and everything
are
right.
great.
It's a jack of all trades movie. It may not, it just does like everything right. There's not a lot that you can complain about with the movie. It's paced so beautifully. The way it it's like Hitchcockian and how it ramps up its suspense. It juggles comedy perfectly, like just so perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Even in scenes that like almost aren't supposed to be funny or still like have a comedic twist to it, even though it's like not comedic at all. Like even the part like I almost couldn't help but laugh when he's like commenting on his smell.
Yeah.
But it's because like, his reaction was funny, but at the same time it's like, oh, that's actually just a fucking shitty, horrible thing to say about somebody.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I don't want to spoil or anything, but like it does so much right.
Watch Parasite, guys. It is the best movie of 2019.
Like,
promise you.
Yeah, even like the fumigation
really
scene right in the beginning, like oh, we need to get. It's almost comedic the way it's played, but at the same time, it's like just depressing as fuck. Like when they get their free fumigation by leaving the windows open when they're spraying.
There's so much. Well, there's like even a twist, halfway through the movie, and there's
the pre-existing Parasites twitch.
There's some acts of I guess violence or whatever. Even those have little comedic twists or twinges to them, and it's just I can't
Bong Joon knows what he's
describe. But this is Bong Joon's masterpiece. It's just absolutely incredible.
And I didn't even like Snowpiercer that much. I love this.
Yeah, I like Snowpiercer. I like Snowpiercer. It's not like,
I remember some people were like, "This is a masterpiece," and I was like, "It's fine."
Yeah, I like Okja better than Snowpiercer. I like
Okja better than Snowpiercer as well. This is like,
I've learned I got to watch more Bong Joon-ho movies.
You do.
I learned. Because this is definitely something where it's like anything he does from now on, I want to check out. So
of course, yeah, it's you have to watch Parasite. I think you can. I think you can rent it now, but I know it's in theaters. Some
theaters brought it back.
If you can't,
see in theaters
if you can't rent it, just buy it because you're going to want to watch it again and again anyway.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those.
Alrighty, guys. Well, congratulations to all of the amazing and well-deserved winners of the actual movie awards for 2020. Sorry your award show was a hot mess, but they can't all be winners.
Nope.
I actually love that.
So, guys, before we say so long here today, do we have a Twitter poll for this week?
What did we do last year? Was it the actual Best Picture?
We did actual... yes, let's do actual Best Picture. Let's do that.
Okay. So we'll break it down to 4. We
will break it down to 4, or we'll put out 2? No, we can't put out 2. That doesn't really make much sense. No. We'll break it. Actually, no, we did Worst Picture, I believe.
I thought we did Worst Picture last week.
Oh, we did do Worst Picture last week. We'll figure it out. Check out the Twitter poll in the comments, in the description box below, or hop on over to our Twitter account. But last week we asked you guys, and Alan was correct, we asked you two things actually last week. We asked you which movie will win Best Picture at the Oscars, and our fans got this one right. So with 58% of the vote, Parasite took the win. With 25% of the vote, 1917 was in second place. With 12.5%, it was Joker. And with 4.2%, it was The Irishman. So great job to our fans. You guys are very bright.
Did that poll last longer than the Oscars, if I'm being cynical?
You know, it might have. I genuinely don't remember. And our second question was, which movie was the actual worst picture for 2019? And with 44% of the votes, you guys said Cats. So you also got that one right as well. And in second place was tied with The Hustle and Tall Girl with 22% of the votes. And The Lion King came in fourth with 11.1%. So thank you guys for that. And also, please check out and be on the lookout for our new Twitter poll once we get that up. All right, guys. Anything you'd like to plug here today before we say so long? Alan?
Sure. I actually just started with someone else with a friend of mine. Started another YouTube channel called Custom Fresh Kicks. I just do the editing, so I'm actually not shown. But basically, he does art on like sneakers, so custom made Air Force Ones and stuff like that. And we edit it down into short videos for you to watch. This isn't a new concept. Like tons of people do this. I don't know why I'm describing it like it's a new thing. It's completely separate from the stuff I do with RAZZLE, though we are going to try to do some more pop culture-y sneakers. There's a new video coming out. Actually, by the time you guys listen to this, it should already be out. We don't have a custom URL for that yet, but the link to the page will be in the description. And it's Custom Fresh Kicks with a K for the custom with a K. Other than that, I've been trying to get some more videos out for RAZZLE, but I haven't had time. Been really busy. But I'll be working on some things in the future.
Fantastic. Ryan, anything for you to plug here today, sir?
Just follow me on Twitter at Ryan_Havens.
Excellent. You guys can follow me on Twitter at I am Maurer. You can follow RAZZLE on Twitter at RAZZLE Media. Also, check out our Instagram page, instagram.com/RAZZLE Media. Thank you to today's sponsor, ink.shop. That is ink.shop. That is what you put in the URL. There's no .com, no .org, and no .gov. Believe it or not. But thank you to them. They make custom printed apparel. They've made some amazing stuff for us in the past. And I hope you hop over there and check out them for all of your custom printed apparel needs. And also check them out on Instagram as well. That's instagram.com/ink.shop. Also, if you're feeling into it, check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/RAZZLE Media. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember to like the page, like the video, and subscribe to our channel. And please rate the show on all your favorite podcast apps. That really helps us out and, gets the word out about especially the actual movie awards, but our podcast in general. And if you guys would like to possibly get on the show, please reach out to us on our RAZZLE line, 267-343-9253. Again, that's 267-343-9253, where you can leave a 15-second or so voicemail with any questions, comments, concerns, or jokes about Alan. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Links to everything discussed are in the description box down below. I hope you have a great week.
Poppycock!